A very good evening to everyone present here. I welcome you all to Loretto's Interhouse Debate Competition 2021. We are very fortunate to get this opportunity to organize this competition today. So we thank Sister for always encouraging, inspiring and supporting us. Now I would like to extend a warm welcome to our panel of judges and especially to our 8 participants from the different houses who are going to speak for and against the motion. We appreciate your eagerness to take part in this activity, girls, and we wish you well and good luck. Debate means a discussion between two parties, and the two parties they hold different views. Debate helps us to develop our critical thinking. It improves our speaking skills, teamwork skills, and our confidence. So the topic for today's debate is online learning as effective as classroom learning? And I'm sure every one of us will enjoy and have a good debate on this particular topic. So before we start, I would now like to introduce you to our esteemed panel of judges. Our first judge is Miss A. Nonkanri, and majority of us know that Miss A. Nonkanri is a class teacher of Nursery B, and I'm sure all of us know her as a sweet, loving, helpful and talented teacher. So I welcome you, Miss Nonkanri, to this evening's debate. Now, let me introduce you to our second judge, Miss Emperto, who is our very own counselor. Yes, she is the one who supports us, who guides us through any hardships that we face in our everyday life, isn't it? And I'm sure every one of us will agree that she plays an integral role in our lives. So I welcome Miss Perto to this competition. So the scorer for this evening's debate is Miss P. Bhattacharjee, and our timekeeper is Miss A. Biswas. Taking the speaker chair for this debate competition is none other than our very own Sir Suyam. So I welcome you all, and I hope everyone will enjoy this evening's debate. Sir, I now hand it over to you.
For that lovely introduction and welcoming our participants and as well as our audience, the students from different classes who are here to take part, to listen to this debate competition. So as we begin this competition, let me just first read out the rules to you all. It's mandatory that you all know how the rules should be, how the debate should be. So just to clear up things, okay? So please listen properly to these rules and regulation governing this debate. Number one, participating teams should comprise of 2 students from each house. That is 1 speaker for the motion and the other against the motion. Point number 2, rule number 2, the speaker of each house moves the motion. In conclusion, the lead speaker of each house will sum up the team's argument and will be given an extra 2 minutes to do so at the end of the debate. The time allotted for each speaker will be 4 minutes. And number 4, a warning bell will be rung after 3 minutes before the allotted time is over. I hope it's clear. I hope I'm not going too fast. Number 5, regarding an exceeding time limit is frowned upon, and penalty for both is left to the discretion of the judges. All right. Then number 6, participants will be judged on the following points. These are the points on which your judgment, will come. A, your content. In the content, uh, matter, logic, relevance, and reference will be included. Then in B, then in B, your delivery, which includes your pronunciation and your clarity. Uh, in C, you will have manner, which includes impact, poise, conviction, and audience contact. Here, when I say audience contact, it means your eye contact with the screen. Okay, you're not bending down and reading from some books. All right, and then we come to D. D will be your language. Uh, Language means you use appropriate words, appropriate register. All right. Then number 7, teamwork will not go unrecognized. Okay. Team will be awarded points on the basis of how well they come across as a team. All right. Number 8, uh, the participants should refrain from using unparliamentary words or sentences. Okay. Number 9, personal attack, slang, vulgarity in any form will not be allowed at all. All right. So please refrain yourself from using any kind of these kind of personal attack or slangs. And number 10, as they say, for every competition we have a judges. So the judges' decision will be final and binding. Am I clear, participants? Am
Yes,
I
sir.
Yes,
clear
sir.
on the rules? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as we begin, uh, let me welcome all the participants, all right, and introduce you one by one, all right, to the judges, sisters, teachers, and all the students who are in the audience. From Naidu House, we have Damika Siangshai going for the motion and Anna Panmay going against the motion. The Nehru House is Upasna Das and Ashiana Kharpur for and against. And then from Gandhi, we have Tanisha Hussain for the motion and Francine and Tabaf against the motion. And Tagore House, we have Yapila Nyokor, thank you, for the motion, and Ananya against the motion. So just to sum up your points, your total points will go to 200 points, where content will will be 50 points, your delivery will be 50 points, your manner will be 50 points, and your language will be 50 points. So please make use of all these, of all the following points, okay? So that you carry the maximum point. All right. So I hope you're clear. So all the best. So once again, uh, we now begin this debate competition, where the topic is online teaching and effective as classroom teaching? Coming for the motion, the mover of the motion, may I now call on from Naidu House, represented by Damika Siangshai of class 11 Humanity. Damika Siangshai.
Good afternoon, respected teachers, judges, my fellow proposition of the team, and my fellow respected opposition of the team. My name is Damika Singchai of Class 11 Humanities, and I am representing Naidu House for the motion. Online learning. Online learning has given students the solace of remaining at home and has limited the time of traveling. Earlier, when a student needed to make a trip to class and go to classes, traveling would take as much time as the actual class. Travel time is non-existent with online learning. A student can rather take 2 classes in a similar measure of time. Students can likewise get familiar with the content which they find intriguing with the assistance of recorded meetings. Along these lines, they would likewise have the option to get a handle of the information quicker as their psyche is spinning with around similar points. Students can stop a video and get greater clearness on the point by utilizing other online apparatuses. This gives control to what they learn, when they learn, and most importantly, gives voice to how they learn. In physical classroom setting, it may very well be difficult and hard for some students to focus on instructions and content because of their friends consistently being around them. In any case, as the necessities and learning strategies for each student are different and extraordinary, some may require uh, more consideration than others. Online learning gives an astounding stage to students who are inclined towards learning without any interruptions around them. Numerous instructors across the globe have affirmed that students who were extremely occupied or distracted in class have considerably gotten more comfortable on online learning platforms. Online learning is considerably more powerful where the student chooses what they need to learn and how they will learn. They can browse between recordings or live meetings as they wish and can deal with numerous abilities simultaneously if they wish to. It comes down to the interactions of head-on chasing for organizations and sitting in numerous advising meetings to simply joining on the web. Online learning makes it workable for students to collaborate with their friends in devoted gatherings and through devices. Students can get an opportunity to acquire a superior viewpoint after reflecting and imparting information to one another. Gathering conversations are a lot simpler, all thanks to the breakout room options provided by most digital video conferencing platforms. These rooms go about as shut spaces for student gatherings to meet and impart their knowledge and their contemplations and thoughts to one another. This outcome in dynamic learning fosters a feeling of proprietorship among the students. They are currently assuming responsibilities for the learning and introspecting together. Online learning helps students in additionally getting criticism from peers rather than just from their teachers. Thank you.
Thank you, Damika. Indeed, very clear. I hope the judges, the network is okay. They're getting, you can hear it clearly. All right. Now, coming from that was Damika from the Treasury bench. Now we call on Anna Panme of class 11 Humanity to speak against the motion.
Good evening, sister, respected teachers, Mr. Speaker, sir, panel of judges, moderators, timekeeper, members of the Treasury bench, my opponents, and the audience. My name is Anna T. Panmay, and I'm from Naidu House. I'll be speaking against the motion on the topic, Is online teaching as effective as classroom learning? I agree with the fact that it is the need of the hour to conduct online teaching as the situation calls for it. But in my opinion, classroom learning will always be preferred over online teaching as it is more effective and we learn much more. Online education, although it gives a student an opportunity to learn, it also distracts them. The first casualty will be the interaction element as the teacher lectures on Zoom or Google Meet. The student listens passively after switching off their cameras and microphones. The impact of learning is uncertain and not always optimum. Education is not limited to the syllabus only, it includes a variety of other aspects. The personal interaction, collaborative engagement, shared experiences, conversations all contribute towards the education of a student. It prepares us to live in a society as we come across and befriend individuals with various social and ideological backgrounds. It is where a young student experiences cultural differences. In classroom learning, when a student isn't catching on, the teacher can quickly intervene. This immediate feedback available in the classroom can't be replicated in an online environment, as the teacher cannot monitor the body language of a student to ensure their focus. In classroom learning, students are encouraged to think critically. Group discussion gives students the chance to explore their ideas, think critically about them as we need to formulate opinions. These types of discussions are harder to replicate in an online environment. Classroom education teaches us to be organized. We gain responsibility skills as we need to reach school on time and be dressed properly, and also being prepared for in-class discussion. Being in a classroom can always improve the social skills of a student, whether that be public speaking or just socializing in general. Having classes through online platforms minimizes the interaction between students, and this can lead to social skills decreasing significantly. Also, many students face difficulty in online education as they live in a locality with bad internet connections. They are compelled to install Wi-Fi at their homes in order to attend classes, which is not possible for a large section of the population as they cannot afford it. Hence, I would like to conclude by saying that no amount of virtual learning can match the environment that one gets in the classroom. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Uh, we continue with the next speaker uh, from the Treasury bench. Representing Nehru House, may I call now upon Upasana Das of Class 12 Humanity to speak in favor of the motion.
A very warm good evening to everyone on the other side, my respected judges, Honorable Mr. Speaker Sir, dear sister and teachers, and my fellow competitors, and of course my dear friends too, how could I forget? My name is Upasana Das from Class 12 Humanities, and I would like to light my mind in favor of the motion on the topic, is online teaching as effective as classroom learning? And I'll be representing Nehru House. I would like to start with a quote from Donna J. Haraway, who's an American author. Online teaching is not the next big thing. It is now the big thing. This tells us the changing phase of education that has taken a transformation from traditional classrooms to virtual classrooms. For online learning, also known as e-learning, where the requirements are either laptops or desktops or smartphones, etc., which with internet connection, of course, which is available now everywhere in our current technological world. People have started preferring this type of learning because it is new, and whenever anything new comes up to our eyes, we always want to try it out. We always want to check it out if it's better than the previous one. And of course, these are inexpensive. Now, leave out iPads or laptops. Just before this pandemic or online classes started, I'm sure everyone must have had at least a smartphone in their hands. Due to the impact of the internet, more and more people are choosing to stray away from the outmoded classrooms and they are preferring online sessions. Ever since the online classes have started, we have had plenty of time in our hands because the time we spent from traveling from home to school and then back, it saved that traveling time and also the expenditure. Before, when we attended offline classrooms, I'm sure we as students must have experienced this. Even the teachers, perhaps at least once, gobbling breakfast within 5 minutes, and the day you overslept was the day most tiring. And then one day, perhaps you decided to hit the sack early. You remembered, oh, I have to finish my maths homework. And when teachers give us our projects to do, most of our students procrastinate. We think, oh, there's plenty of time. And then before we even know it, submission day is tomorrow, and we're struggling to finish it just the day before. And during that day, we get only 3 to 4 hours of sleep. Hence, with the online sessions, we have more time in our hands and we are able to finish our assignments. And because we don't get tired, because most of the time we are sitting at home only. Then in between the classes, there are 10 to 15 minutes of break between those classes. And between those breaks, we can have light snacks to rejuvenate ourselves too. And then many a times, students can present their viewpoints through slideshows or presentations in the online classes to substantiate what the teachers have taught us. I remember when we used to have offline classes, I hardly answered or asked questions to the teachers. If the teacher asked the class that, class, have you understood? I would say yes. Perhaps I didn't even understand, and I would say yes. You could say I was shy, nervous, and if my peers taunted me after the class was over, you could say, peer pressure. However, ever since the online classes have started, these changes have come in many of the students. Even if the teachers are asking us to on the camera and they're asking us questions, we're able to answer them without any jittering. These I'm telling about the girls who don't speak in class, like myself. They're able to, of course, leaving out the part whether they are right or wrong. However, and even for the unit tests, teachers have prepared us by posting links of quizzes which, of course, they are quite fun because they are like 40 to 50 questions, and then their teachers put music in them, and then if you are answering questions consecutively, then you get some lifelines sort of. Even for this upcoming semesters and ICSE exams, teachers are preparing in this very manner. Also, during these exams, there are like 5 to 6 invigilators and teachers where the students under their radar are not doing any unfair means. So I would like to conclude myself by saying that online education has really brought a positive impact in our lives in students and also the working professionals. And to the opposing house, I would like to ask, these online classes have helped us students during the pandemic, and it has prevented our learning from becoming stagnant. So, what would have happened if online classes were not there? Thank you.
Thank you, Upasana. Judges, I hope everything was clear. It was a little lagging, and that was a little lagging, but was it clear? Okay. Thank you, judges. All right. After Upasana, now may I call Ashiana Kharpor of class 9A to speak against the motion.
Good evening, respected principal, respected speaker, sir, respected judges, teachers, honorable members of the Treasury bench, and all who are present here. I am Ashiana Adorisha Kharpor of class 9A, and I will be representing Nehru House against the motion. The motion, at first glance, is flawed and should be dismissed forthwith. Online teaching is not as effective as classroom learning. India is a land of disparities, where technological advances have not yet reached the four corners of the country. In such a scenario, do you think that each and every student has access to internet connectivity, smartphones, or even electricity? I ask the honorable members of the Treasury bench, can you tell me if each and every student of the country or of our state Meghalaya, or even at a more micro level, its capital city Shillong, do all the students have the opportunity for continued learning through online mediums? It is but a reality that many students are not able to access online classes due to unavailability of electricity and connectivity, especially in rural areas. Even in the town, connectivity is an issue. Let us just look at the scenario of our own classes. Almost every day, at least 1 or 2 students will have problems with connectivity. The online classes are dependent on connectivity, electricity, and the gadget. So even if one of these tools are not working properly, then either the student or the teacher is not able to be a part of the online class. Moving on to the effectiveness of the online classes, I strongly feel that classroom learning is more effective mainly because of the physical presence of the teacher and the student, and this contact is the most essential ingredient of learning. According to researchers, learning is maximized if somatic learning environment is created, where a student uses in tandem the senses of hearing, seeing, observing, touching, or hands-on practicals, which is achieved only in classroom learning. In the classroom, the teacher is able to gauge the attention of the student and facilitate personalized attention. And the teacher can understand by one look at the student whether he or she has understood or not and levelize the teaching accordingly. Whereas in online classes, where the personal proximity is absent, the teacher has to take it for granted that the whole class has understood, as almost all cameras are turned off and there is less interaction from the part of the students. I second my statement by the words of Bill Gates, a personality who popularized technological tools by quoting him. Technology is just a tool. In terms of getting the kids working together and motivating them, the teacher in the classroom is the most important. Another point I put forth to challenge the motion is that when we talk of education or learning, it is not restricted to reading and writing only, but also includes learning values, virtues, discipline, and ethics that help the child grow wholesomely. This is definitely achieved only in classroom learning. Let us talk about physical activity, which has been drastically diminished with online classes, as the students are glued to the chair and gadgets. So, what is the status of their health and well being? Mr. Speaker, sir, over and above the aforementioned statements, other points like quality of assessments, delayed submission of assignments, lack of socializing, lack of discipline, non-participatory learning, disturbances and distractions, and misuse of gadgets during online classes can be put forth to defeat the motion. I conclude my argument by stating that online classes were introduced as an alternative measure during the pandemic for the safety and security of the students, teachers, and all stakeholders. It cannot surpass the effective classroom learning and will always remain as an alternative. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashiana of class 9A. I now call on from Gandhi House, from the Treasury bench. Representing Gandhi House is Tanisha Hussain of class 10B.
Good evening, respected Mr. Speaker, sir, judges, teachers, members of the opposition bench, and my fellow team members. I am Tanisha Hussain of class 10B, and I will be representing Gandhi House in speaking for the motion on the topic, is online learning as effective as classroom learning? As we all know that this COVID-19 pandemic led us to the situation that forced the abrupt closure of almost everything, including the educational institutions, hampering the regular academic calendar and also halting all the ongoing regular classes at once. According to the data from UNESCO, peak in school closures was registered at the beginning of April 2020, when around 1.6 billion learners were affected across 194 countries, accounting for more than 90% of the total enrolled learners. Due to the sudden closure of schools, many education systems were obliged to adopt alternatives to face-to-face learning and teaching. Considering this alternative of no schooling, online schooling has been an important tool to sustain skills during school closure. Attending online classes every day has become the new normal for students during this lockdown period. As schools were shut because of the lockdown to prevent the spread of the virus, online classes has taken the center attention of the lives of almost all the students. Interestingly, these online classes have helped us students during lockdown more than ever before. Points which can justify are: we get more time to study as we do not have to waste our time and energy in going and coming back from school, also avoiding the heavy traffic jams and also not wasting our parents' time. It is a lot more safer as we have no physical interactions with others, which avoids the risk of contracting the virus. We can study and learn at the cozy ambience of our home and submit assignments online. And also, our mental activity increases, which makes us, the students, more academically oriented. Also, we, the students, as well as the teachers, have become more tech savvy. We get to know about more apps and programs. In online classrooms, students have access to all relevant information in one platform. Teachers can easily share all the useful information over the internet and keep it securely preserved in an electronic archive. It also ensures that if we students need further clarification of doubts, we can easily check the videos or the audios given by the teachers and resolve the doubts instantly. We, the students, also tend to be more attentive as the teachers keep a track on our progress during the classes, and there's no sort of physical distractions as we had during the offline classes. Some believe that this unplanned and rapid move to online learning with no training, insufficient bandwidth, and little preparation will result in poor user experience, whereas others believe that a new hybrid model of education will emerge with significant benefits. I personally believe that the integration of information technology in education will be further accelerated and that online learning will eventually become an integral part of school education. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanisha from Gandhi House. I now call on from the opposition, Francine N. Thaba of class 11 Science to speak against the motion.
Good evening, Mr. Speaker, sir, respected judges, my friends of the Treasury Bench, fellow members of the opposition, respected sister, teachers, and the audience. My name is Francine Nelly Thaba from 11 Science, and today I will be representing Gandhi House in expressing my views against the motion, is online teaching as effective as offline learning. What is online learning? Online learning or e-learning is education that takes place over the internet. As it involves the internet, virtual learners or students are exposed to the flaws of the internet. As students are not under constant supervision of an adult, they are subject to inappropriate websites, ads, hackers, and so on. Their privacy is also at risk. Online learners miss out on face-to-face interaction, which hinders their communication skills because they do not get to communicate with their peers on a daily basis. Some students possess the ability to work independently, while others find comfort in working along with their peers. So, online learning may create a sense of isolation. Online learners suffer from lack of motivation. In order to succeed, they must exhibit self-discipline. Students who have trouble with procrastination and time management will have difficulties in completing their assignments on time. The workload becomes too much and the student feels incompetent and burdened with academic work. At school, competition among students can stimulate bonds to be formed, which are necessary for trust and teamwork. Online learning cannot offer human interaction. Therefore, virtual learners have a hard time getting along with their classmates. Students, especially those enrolled in the science stream, are denied practical classes, and this may have a long-term negative effect on their future. Although links are sent to the students to perform the practicals online with the help of simulators, we do not get the same satisfaction we do when we perform the practicals well in the laboratories. Technology, as we know, is not 100% reliable. In our state, load shedding which occurs from time to time and poor internet connectivity are only two of the many factors that contribute to students falling behind academically. We may have experienced this ourselves or seen our classmates getting disconnected from virtual classrooms. According to the United Nations Millennium Development Goals program, 80 million Indians lived below the poverty line in 2018 to 2019. There are many families who do not have the resources to procure a single smartphone. Moreover, if a family with a number of children has only one mobile phone, then online education becomes a burden to them. Mr. Speaker, sir, a member of the Treasury Bench earlier stated that good internet connection is not available everywhere. This implies that they know that not many students do not get the same opportunities that we do. To conclude, I would like to say that when educational institutions reopen, students will willingly go to their schools, colleges, universities, etc., because they know for a fact that offline learning is way better than online learning. Thank you.
Thank you, Francine. Now we have from the Treasury Bench, the last speaker from the Treasury Bench. May I now call on Yafi Lanyokor Thankyo of Class 10B, representing the Gore House.
Good evening, Honorable Mr. Professor,
respected judges, teachers, and sister, as well as the respected members from the opposition bench and my fellow teammate. My name is Jafila Nyoko Thankio from Class 10B. Representing to Goa House, I will speak for the motion on the topic Is online learning as effective as classroom learning? As we all know that each person has a different learning pace. Slow learners can always repeat and rewatch videos uploaded by their teachers, while fast learners can always proceed with their chapters by watching the various videos uploaded by many apps and channels on YouTube and many other apps that provide educational videos. We also know e-learning, online learning also helps with self-discipline. As long as it is correct. Why? Because online learning teaches the student to maintain their data usage, and it allows them to teach themselves, and this results in comprehension. um, I would like to take the words of Benjamin Franklin. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I may remember. Involve me and I learn. We know that many virtual labs are available on the internet, where students can always join at any time, anywhere. Students can also participate in online tests and exams hosted by the many educational apps on the internet. And also, not everyone whom the students interact with have a positive impact on their lives. Let us take the cases of bullying and peer pressure, which can always affect the physical and mental health of the student. Though we are fixated on the screen, we may have back pain, as said by the members of the opposition bench. We still have we can always watch videos uploaded on the internet. Many apps provide videos which teach you many new workout steps. They help you maintain your diet and also keep up with your physical health. Personally, I have observed that during online learning, I have had quality time with myself and my family, and I have also had extra time to surf the internet and watch all the videos that are part of what I like. Example, cooking. We can always learn new things about cooking, and we can always have time to explore more topics on our hobby. Also, smaller ages. I have 3 brothers, and now they actually know how to operate Google Meet and Zoom, because at this age we need to cope up with the things around us, and they also know how to operate, and they can always learn new things about many apps. Online learning also online learning doesn't only mean that you can study by yourself. Why? Because we can always make study groups where we can have study sessions with friends, and we can discuss doubts, and we can always discuss the chapters together. Also, the teacher student relationship has never been stronger than now. Why? Because students can always message the teachers and ask doubts personally, even if they are not as confident. Like, some students may not be confident in online contribute. People say that online learning is the future of education. Yes, it is. Actually, online learning is not the next big thing, but it is the now big thing. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to question the respectable members of the opposition bench that why not appreciate and accept the method that we are all using now, and that is online learning, because we now live in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Yakil and Yokor. Last but not the least, speaking against the motion. May I now call on Ananya of Class 10B representing the Gore House.
Good evening, Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable judges, teachers, members of the Treasury bench, and my fellow teammates. I'm Ananya of Class 10B and we are representing the Gore House and we will be speaking against the motion on the topic online teaching as effective as classroom learning. As we all know, offline learning, we need communication to communicate with our teachers and students, and that can only happen through offline learning because communication can be clearly done through offline learning. Because what happens in online learning is that during online classes, because of network issues, because there's no Wi-Fi, no electricity, we tend to lose communication and a student. Sometimes what happens that teachers have slow network issues, or they don't have network, so at times they can't teach us clearly. Their voice lags and we can't hear. Because of that, there's a lot of problems. So even students, they can't clarify their doubts with the teachers because of their network issues. These problems arises only in online classes. If we are in offline classes, do you think we'll have any network issues? No, we can communicate with our teachers clearly and without any fear of network going or electricity going off or there's no Wi-Fi. Talking about health, every time we're sitting in front of a camera, in front of a laptop, phones, every time sitting, we are not moving here and there. We're becoming lazy and lazy nowadays because of these online classes. And every time sitting in front of the camera, there's so much stress to our eyes, and because of which we need to wear specs. I myself, a few years, I thought that I will never wear specs because I had a really good eyesight. But look at now, I'm wearing a specs. I don't think I'm the only one facing this problem now. I think everyone, most of the students around the world are facing this problem. Talking about next is the condition of the students in the village areas or rural areas, can say. For them, buying a gadget is like buying a diamond because that costly gadgets are nowadays. For them, even if classes are being conducted through online, because they don't have the gadgets with them, they miss that studies, they miss those classes which is being taught, and because of that they cannot attend the classes. And do you think those financially weak families can pay every month a mobile data? For mobile data, can they pay? No, because they are financially weak. So because of that, they are missing a lot of teaching that is being taught in the school. And talking about the students who are the only child to their parents, they are sitting home alone. They need someone to communicate. And this is the age where we don't tend to speak out with our parents. We want our friends to communicate. And if we're in school, what we do is that we can communicate with our friends, we can clear our doubts with them. Any problem we have within us, we can share with them. But this online have just made us sit alone home, and we can't, and because of that we are taking in pressure, and because of that the focus that we have in our studies is going off. And talking about space, some families are there who are financially weak, so because of that they rent house which has only 2 bedrooms, and maybe there are 5 or 6 children around. So do you think everyone can study in 1 room or 2 room itself? No. Because of that, there's so many background sounds coming up, and because of this the concentration goes off, and because of that so many students cannot attend the class. And I would like to conclude by saying a quote quoted by Kurt Lewin: learning is more effective when it is active rather than a passive process. Thank you.
Thank you, Ananya. Okay, now we come to back to the movers. Damika, are you ready? You'll get 2 minutes to rebut on behalf of the entire treasury. Okay, as a mover from the treasury, you'll be getting 2 minutes. All right, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Your time starts now.
Okay. To conclude the points from the proposition teams, online classes has made our lives easier by giving us more time to finish our work. It permits using time productively as students get additional time close by. it gives the students additional time to work on their assignments and work. And it is easier for most students to communicate with teachers as they do not have the courage to do so in real life classrooms. It also helps us with keeping up more with technology, and especially during the pandemic, as education cannot be delayed for the future generation of the world, it is safer for us as we don't get physical contact with others, which then gives us a high risk of getting infected. We also get a much more in-depth understanding of topics as we can watch recorded meetings and videos and replay those. And on the topic of the ones who are financially unstable, who can and they can't afford the technology for necessary for online classes, stopping online classes is not the solution, because even then the ones who have access to technology will lose out. What we need to work on as a society is to provide those in need with the technology. Some non-government organizations are already working on these issues by providing them smartphones, tablets, and teaching them how to make use of this technology. What we need more is to take the initiatives to help the ones in need with the technology and the materials for their online classes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramika. Anna, are you ready to rebut?
Sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
the floor is yours.
To sum up all the points, I would like to say that students locked in a room with just a mobile phone or laptop is not an ideal way of getting education to the fullest potential. It is no surprise that children of today's generation is less social, and online classes is not helping either in this area. Classroom education teaches us to live in a society as we get along with people from different backgrounds, and the environment of classroom inspires us to study. It increases our critical thinking and helps us to be more organized. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Anna, for summing up on behalf of against the motion, the position from the opposition side. Thank you so much. Now I would like to invite just a few words. Sister is here. Is sister here? I saw the time she was out of network now. Is Sister Marcia here? Miss Lavi, is Sister Marcia here?
Sister was here, but I think she's having network issues. Sir. I think sister's having network issues.
Okay. Since the judges are they're doing the tabulation and all, we give them a little bit time. In the meantime, I'm glad that you all spoke so well, very confident. I'm happy. I can see some of you rebut the others. That is, debate is always like that, not reading and memorizing whatever you have written. It's nice to see also that you all have done some kind of a research, like you quoting a UN report and all, which is terrific, very good. That is what debate is all about. You need to do your research. That's why they say the word, no, learn it, fellow members. No, we address one another as debaters, as learned fellow debaters. No, so very good. And then a hand movement. Some of you are quite stiff, sitting just straight into the camera and speaking. Okay, well, no doubt about it. Okay, good. But it is always nice to show a hand gesture. You know, when you talk. See, especially me. I don't know if somebody ties my hand. I don't think even I can. I don't think I can say even a single word. If you tie my hand, nothing will come out of my mouth. So it's always nice when you speak. No, then your hand gesture also should be there. They say the body language. No, when especially if you're not doing it, if you're doing it live in an auditorium or somewhere. No, when you speak, you talk, your hand goes here, your hand goes there, and you're telling. You know, it's nice. It's just like telling stories. Not you imagine a pastor or priest who stands in one place and reads the Bible. What will happen? Everybody will go off to sleep, isn't it? Huh? But if you find a pastor, you find especially in America, the pastor moves around the whole church, not only in the podium, but he goes to the public also. So that's kind of what do you call impact you create. All right, good. Well, overall, I'm very glad to see that quite a number of you have really done your homework well. So congratulations to all the participants. I just hope sister has come back. No, has she come back? I'm sorry, my voice is a little distinct today. I'm not feeling well. I'm coughing, so I'm trying to
Sir,
control that cough. Has she
sir,
come?
there are no. The sister has just messaged me saying there is no current in Loreto, so she's unable to join.
Okay,
Nobody,
okay then.
no current
Okay,
then.
okay, fine. So, can I now call on Miss Nonkundri then to give a little bit, just a brief, just to some ideas, throw some ideas on our young debaters. They get later on in life, they may become parliamentarian, they may become MLAs and MDCs. They'll get that idea how to debate in an assembly or in the parliament.
So you've put me in a spot. I'm not a talker. So doing this, I mean, I've learned so much from all of you. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Listening to, for the motions, you're all correct in your own way. Listening to the speakers against the motion, you're all again correct in every single way. But all I want to say is don't study because you need to. Study because knowledge is power. Study because nobody can take your knowledge away from you. Study because it enhances you. Study because it grows you. Offline or online, the education that you've learned stays with you and no one can ever take that away from you. Okay?
Yes.
Thank you. Congratulations to every one of you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
thank
Miss.
you, thank you, Miss Nokundi. That was lovely. That was lovely. Uh, our counselor, maybe she has a word or two. Miss Mario Biang, Miss, can you say a few words?
Sure. Thank you, sir. Once again, a very good evening, all present here. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizing team for having me as one of the judge. And thank you, Ms. Lingda Rani. It is indeed a privilege and a joy to actually witness these amazing potentials. So, dear girls, thank you for putting up, such an interesting, insightful performance. And congratulations, above all, for putting your 100%. I understand a lot of effort would have gone into this, and also all of us must have been putting our fingers crossed for good internet connectivity, and for especially for Miss Antonia and myself to be able to hear you clearly. Right. Just a thought, I feel you are already highly encouraged, highly motivated, and that speaks volume from the way you delivered your messages. And Ms. Antonia had mentioned both the team for and against. You all have served such valid and really good points, and that itself is really enlightening. And I second Ms. Nonkalin's thought. I myself am not much of a debater, so to say, but I believe that the skills that you have inculcated, the level of preparation you have arrived at, I think these are going to go a really, really long way in helping improve your personality, in helping improve and also add up to your skills later in your future career paths. Because again, keeping in mind that yes, while knowledge is important, you're also going to bring to the table your skills and your personality as part of your careers later. So yes, overall, I think we're already seeing, really potential bright students becoming important and also doing a lot of meaningful work later on in life. Yes, so I wish you all the very best for your future endeavors. Thank you so much, sir. And you yourself, you're doing really good. Yes, chairing the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Prato. I have not received the result yet, so as we wait, just to sum up, like the judges have said, you listen to the motion, for the motion, absolutely right, perfect. And you go and listen to those who are saying against the motion, no doubt about it. You know, you both are right in your own ways. That's why, if you remember what Ms. Taba said at the beginning, same topic, people may have diverse uh, opinion of them, isn't it? So good. I second Ms. Perto what she says. I can see a bright future in you all, not just as parliamentarian, as I said at the beginning, not just as MLA or MDCs, but in any walk. Even if you are a teacher, I know when you stand in front of teachers, in front of your students, you will not fall down. You're very confident. I love the way you all spoke very confidently, which shows that there are people, when they stand in front of just a small audience or so, they start trembling. That will never happen to our Loreto girls, especially our debaters. They will never tremble. That I'm 100% sure. They'll be able to stand in any platform, given a chance, any platform. So anyway, any topics like we say, online or offline, both has a advantage as well as disadvantage, isn't it? Some even said that in this pandemic, if we go to school, then we may be infected. Yeah, you may be right there. Then somebody from the Treasury bench said that online classes, it teaches us so many new things. Absolutely right. Once upon a time, I don't even know how to use this particular screen, which you say Google Meet. But this pandemic has taught me how to even stand in front of camera. You've seen me standing in the stage, not frightened. Though I'm frightened, I don't show it. I'll tell you honestly, I'm frightened, but I don't show it. I stand in front in the stage in front of you all. Okay, this online has taught me how to stand in front of a camera too. you all are, it's not that you are all are learning. We are also learning. We are also learning. I think the teachers will agree with me when I say that we are all are learning.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Yeah.
It's a learning process for everyone. It's a learning process for everyone. I think I just got. So, are you ready to? Are you ready to listen to the result? Okay, first and foremost, we go to the motion. Okay, is online teaching as effective as classroom learning. The motion stands defeated. All right, the motion stands defeated. As for the speakers, as for the best house, the best house is, any guess? This is a guess, wild guess. Participants?
So Nehru.
Wow. Wow.
The Nehru House.
I can't see your finger. I know. Right down below the camera, your fingers are like this, right? Huh? Finger cross. All right. The best performing house goes to the house being represented by Tanisha, Hussein, and Francine and Sabah. Gandhi House. The Gandhi House gets best house. Can you all clap for them? Yes, thank you very much. Yes. Now, for the best speaker, I can't see properly. Let me see. Close, just by 1 point. Just by 1 point, you know, this girl spoke very well. Both of them spoke very well, in fact. Okay. In fact, everybody spoke very well. Ashiana, she got 375 points. Okay. Ashiana got 375 points, and Francine got 376 points. So Francine is our best speaker. The best speaker of this debate competition goes to Francine N. Thabak of Gandhi House. So congratulations, Francine. Congratulations to the winning house. And as I said, the motion stands defeated. With this, we conclude this debate competition. May I now call on Miss to say the vote of thanks.
I'm here.
Yes, there, Ms. Tamang is there. So may I call
Thank you so
on
much, sir.
Ms. Tamang to say the vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, sir. Very good evening to all. It gives me immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks this evening. First of all, I would like to thank the principal, Mr. Mercia, for giving us the opportunity to conduct this debate and for always encouraging and supporting us. Thank you so much, sister. I would also like to thank the judges for today, Ms. A. Nonkindri and Mrs. M. Pirta. Thank you so much, teachers, for accepting the invitation and sparing some time today and sharing your thoughts with all of us. Thank you so much, teachers. I also extend a big thank you to Ms. N. Thaba for the introduction, Sasuyam for being an amazing speaker, Mrs. Biswas for keeping the time, and Mrs. P. Bhattacharjee for being the scorekeeper. Thank you so much, dear teachers. I would also like to thank the English teachers and the house mistresses for always supporting the girls in every possible way. Thank you so much, teachers. My sincere thanks goes to all the participants. Thank you, girls. You all spoke very well and with confidence. Well done, girls. Finally, thank you to all the students for your presence this evening. Once again, I thank one and all present here. Thank you and have a good night.